Hey there, my name is Rica. I'm from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, and I am a recent cancer survivor. In October 2018, I was 34 years old. I was diagnosed with Nasopharyngeal Carcinoma. It's a kind of head and neck cancer which happens on the nasopharynx, and in short, it's called NPC. I was diagnosed with NPC stage 4A. In February 2018, I spent 9 months studying overseas in Australia, Melbourne. And during that time, I actually experienced ear block on my right side. It felt like there was fluid trapped under my eardrums. I had muffled hearing. So that was about it. But towards the end of my studies in September, I started to experience some jaw pain and sudden headaches. So I took some aspirins and that went away. So when I graduated, I came back end of September 2018. I decided to visit an ENT specialist. He did a nasoendoscopy, took a sample and did a biopsy test, and days later I was diagnosed with cancer. The cancer treatment took 6 months. I did a combination of chemotherapy as well as radiotherapy, or IMRT. So it was 3 cycles of chemotherapy. Each cycle I spend 1 week at the hospital on a 24-hour chemotherapy drip, and then I'll take 2 weeks break, and then I'll come back for the second cycle. After chemo was done, I was given a 1-month break by my oncologist to recover, and then I proceeded with IMRT, which is radiotherapy. 35 fractions, which means 35 times, Monday to Friday. I'll take breaks on the weekend. On top of that, I also receive IV chemotherapy once a week for 4 hours. The only obstacle I faced was the fear and also the side effects from the cancer treatment. I think timing wise, it was good. It was perfect, because if I were to visit the doctors a month later, the consequences would have been really bad. My oncologist said I would have lost my eyesight. So timing wise, it was just good. And like I said, it was managing the side effects, from the cancer treatment that was sort of a tough thing for me to do. When I first received the news, I was at the ENT specialist office and I was in shock, because I couldn't believe that I had cancer at the age of 34. And my husband was squeezing my hand really hard, and I'm sure he was panicking as well. And then when we left the office and when we were at the car park alone by ourselves, sadness came and I just cried. Me and my husband, we did a lot of research because we did not know any NPC cancer survivor. We do not have any connections with anybody who had experience with cancer. So we did a lot of research online. We Googled about what this disease is and how do you manage the side effects from cancer treatment. And of course, I had a lot of discussions with my oncologist. I asked him a lot of questions. I try to equip myself with knowledge about the disease and how to tackle it. I think mainly is to manage the side effects, and do one thing at a time. I had a very close family, and my husband is my biggest supporter, my biggest motivator. He encouraged me all the time, just telling me not to give up. And as a family and with close friends, we prayed. We really prayed that I would be healed, and I just had encouragement from my loved ones, and I received so many gifts from just many of my friends, and I'm just really thankful for their encouragement and their kindness and compassion showed towards me. And so yeah, I'm really thankful for that. Now that I am a survivor, of course, health is everything. I mean, health is wealth. I learned to be more health conscious. I choose to eat healthier food, and I learned to enjoy my life a little bit more. It's okay to do things one thing at a time, and I treasure my time with my family, my loved ones, and to me, money is not everything. I try to be humble and also thankful for what I have, and I would always say, you know, health over anything else. I think it's really normal for others to feel sorry for us when they hear something such sad news happen to you. And I think most of the people, when they hear the news, they were just they felt sorry and maybe shocked. So at that time, I didn't want people to feel sorry for me, but I can understand why people feel like how they feel. So I think it's okay, and it didn't affect me much, because in the end of the day, I knew that I was going to be better, and I had the positive mindset that I would get better, and I did. I am in remission for 2 years now, almost 2 years now. Don't panic. It's not the end of the world. There's a lot of treatment out there, and remedies for you to actually just treat it as a problem for you to solve. And secondly, take your time to digest the information that you were given to. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel afraid, but don't let that sink in too much until you can't get up and try to fight it. So just stay strong. And lastly, consult a doctor, and if you need treatment right away, get it done, and just get yourself equipped and prepare yourself knowledge on how do you manage the side effects.
What would you
I think most of the time when we are feeling physical pain and suffering physically, there are times where it affects the mood of the person, and even emotionally. So there might be tantrums, or even, you know, unpleasant moments with this person who has cancer. So I think please just be considerate, and just try to understand from their point of view, because they are suffering physically, and there's not much they can do. And I hope that you can treat them with kindness and just love, and give them support. Just say good words, positive things, and encourage them, words of encouragement, and motivate them, so that, you know, they can have a better hope